Christine, do you want to start saying a few words to everybody?
Well, good evening, and I'm so excited about the future of this company. I've never been so passionate as I have now, and I think everything has been set up for us, and then we're having leadership right after the New Year's, and we'll all be going there. How many are registered for leadership? Everybody? Everybody, except I know my Asians are going to a different one, right? But this is everybody has to go there. And the big question is, how many people do you have going with you? That's the telltale sign. I usually tell my people, I know Samson does too, for every person that you bring to a big company event like leadership or convention is worth $1,000 to you for the following year. Yeah, how does that happen? Well, they get excited, they get fired up, they buy more product, and they start buying through the year. They start telling a friend or two, and the numbers just grow. Um, you know,
And
um,
a very
so so I think it's really important that everybody shows up. I don't care if you have to drive through the snow. I know we've had a lot of weather problems, but it's worth it. I remembered one time there was this top national for my former platform, and I learned a lot from her. She was the number one at that time, and I was just new. And she said she lived in Minnesota and that she had an event to go to, and it was a company event. She wanted to be sure to get there. So everybody was setting up. So she and this other director, she was a national at that time, they drove through the blizzard to get to the event, and they showed up and nobody was there. They said, oh, well, we had a blizzard and well, we canceled it. She said, well, we got here. And of course, because of that tenacity, she became the number one national. And that's what it takes is that you show up no matter what. You find a way to make it happen. And so with that, I'll turn that over to you, Samson. I'm just excited and know we're going to have the biggest leadership, you know,
yeah.
for sure.
Well, let me just throw it out there because I heard Christine Peterson has been nonstop on the phone. So,
Yeah.
so just my people, they don't know. Christine, how many people from your team are registered to go to
Well,
Dallas?
we have about 115. Yes,
Woo!
and I'm very mindful. It's not me, it's my people, Shannon, Antoinette, Kimberly. We could go through the whole list. They're really working on pulling their teams together. They've been working even through the holidays, and we're not through. See, our goal is to get to maybe 125, 130. Now, listen to this. A year ago, I had 40 that went to leadership. You
There
see,
you go.
but then let's talk about that. Shannon wasn't here. She was not in the company. Antoinette and I were talking about that. But see, Antoinette made that drive in the summer and convinced Shannon to show up. And look what happened. Exploded her business. You see, getting the right people, finding the right people, and never giving up. If your business is not where you want to be, it's okay. Maybe you've had setbacks, but a setback is only a setup for a comeback. And so that's what you have to keep in mind. Don't compare yourself to anyone. You could be doing everything right, but you don't have the right people yet. Did you hear what I said? Yet. Yes, they're coming. They're waiting for you. And I was reading again. I always say this. I sent this to Samson over the holiday. One of my people sent that to me, Michelle, and she was saying 50,000 UPS workers are being laid off. All right. Now, every one of you must have a UPS driver that comes to your house. I'd be talking to them and who they know. You see, there are people out there. And you know that half of all white collar workers will be laid off by 2030, and half of the entry people will be laid off. It's like the perfect timing, which is exciting to me. I do feel really sad that people lost their jobs and are going to lose their jobs. But see, this is how you build an organization in the right time at the right place. And you are at the right place. When you have millions of people, as Goldman Sachs says, 300 million will be laid off between Europe and the US. they are looking for choices, alternatives. And do you know what the largest population now in America is? 50 to 75. I was blown away by that. I was thinking maybe it'd be the younger ones, but there's this big group and they're very vulnerable. They're going to get laid off. So who do you know that's in that range? Who do you know that is now looking for more money? They don't have enough money to retire. Their children are going off to college. They don't have enough money. This is what you want to start thinking about, because you're going to build your board of directors. You're going to find those golden nuggets that say, I'm hungry, as Les Brown would say, I want more. And you don't need 100 million people. You just need a few, maybe 2 or 3 in each side, but the golden nugget would be getting 5 on each side, or 5 and 4 or 3 or whatever, but getting the right people, because one good business builder will bring in over 1,000 people. How do you like that? There's 1,000 again, isn't it? How many people do you have going to leadership? Do you have 5, 10, 20, 30? Zoli, how many do you have? You have 5? Is that right, Zoli? You have 5? No,
Yoli's muted. Yoli's muted.
Yeah. All right, she said something like this. That's good.
50. Is that 50?
50?
20? Is that 20?
Bravo. You have 50, Yoli? All right. That is awesome. Now maybe some of you are going like, oh man, I don't have those. If I can just get 1. Okay, 1 is great. Don't go alone. You want to bring a friend or 2. You got to bring somebody. What if every one of you just brought 1 person on your team? It would double, triple the numbers. But you see, people, the reason there's such power in events is because maybe they don't relate to you, but then they may see somebody like me, 82, almost 83 years old, and they go, my God, if she could do it, I guess I could do this too. They relate to somebody else that's on that stage, or a younger one, or somebody else, maybe not to you. Or they may go to the event and go, that was it. That's all I needed to hear. Now, you may have told that person a million things, the same things over and over, and they just ignored you, but somebody else said it and they listened. Who cares? As long as they got the message. That's the big deal. So that's the goal right now, because we want to really accelerate and double this company, and in the US especially, we have a mission to really, double, triple the numbers. I know Asia's just rocking it. We're so proud of Asia. So we in the US need to keep up with this. We can't have them doing better than us, of course. We all want to, it's a friendly competition, but we all want to be there. Or if you're really smart, you build in both markets, right? I'm building in both markets, but it's such an exciting time. I mean, I'm over talking, I know, but I say this and then I'll be quiet, Samson, so you can continue on. But I remember in 1989, I moved to Houston, Texas. I moved from California. I didn't know anyone. I didn't know one person in the city at all. And they had an oil bust. 100,000 people moved out of the city. And I had no friends, no family. I have nobody, knew anybody. And I thought, well, of course, we didn't have Facebook. We didn't have all of that. So I thought, well, nobody's going to come knocking at my door. I need to go out and meet people. And I thought, well, this is opportunity. If all these people have left or they have lost their jobs, they need to hear about a new business adventure. And so that's what I sold. I went out every day and had a goal that I was going to talk to 10 new people. I didn't know them. I met them in the food courts. I met them in the malls. I met them in the Starbucks. I met them here and there. And every day I went out and met 10 people. And sometimes I'd come back and I'd have 10 names and 3 would be, wrong numbers or that. And then there'd be 3 that would kind of say, well, call me later. I might be interested. And I'd get 3 in the phone. And then I usually recruit 1 or 2. But I did it consistently, not just once in a while when I felt like it. I forced myself to do it because I needed the money. I moved to a new city, and my business wasn't doing that well. I'd been in the other platform, and I'd been up. This will happen to you. Listen, you'll be up, and then you'll plateau, or you may dip. Some of those people you think, oh, they're going to be the best. They disappear. You go, where are they? You know, you look back, where's my team? And so you just decide, I'm doing it with or without you. So I just went out and said, I took the responsibility. I'm making this happen. And, you know, and here's the big deal. I had the audacity to tell everybody, I just moved here. We're building a national area here, and you can do the same thing in your city. I said, we're going to be the number one. And they followed. You see, nobody follows a parked car. But see, I had that passion that this is where we're going, this is what we're doing. And they followed me. If I'd said, well, I don't know, I just moved here, I'm not too sure if we can really do this. I know it's been a bad economy, I don't know. No, I just said, oh, great opportunity. And so I just pulled it together and started moving. Some states, some didn't. And then I started building leaders. And then I became a national sales director in, I think, 2 or 3 years. And we became the number one in Houston, the 4th largest city in America. Now, it wasn't that I was anything different. I wasn't any different. I put my shoes on like everybody else. I just was hungry. I needed the money. Does anybody relate to that? Yeah, I needed the money. My husband at that time was starting a new business, and we didn't have any money because we invested in what was called mailboxes, etc., which is UPS stores now. And then we bought a franchisor. We were the franchisors building stores out, and we were broke. And had bill collectors, knock, knock, knock. You know, and I go, oh my God, I got to pay these bills. I got to make this happen. And so I just went out. My pride was not greater than my pocketbook. I said, I'm out there to meet people, and sold the dream. And I sold the sizzle, not the steak. And I think that is one thing, I teach my people here, even in 3. I think sometimes you're maybe too product oriented. You talk about product first, and then occasionally you might say, oh, by the way, there is a business. No, right now, we have a business opportunity. Oh, what is it? Well, it's this wonderful, fantastic product. But I lead with the business always. That's what I do. So you couldn't have a better time. And it was a dip. And then the dip listen to this. The dip started in Houston with the oil, and then it trickled out everywhere else. And then it went into a slump. And then the students coming out of college they were living in the basements of their parents' home. They couldn't find jobs. So then after I became a national, I moved to Chicago. And I went out and did the same thing, met Kimberly Starr, Aubon Bakery. And there she was, Amoco engineer, only making $60,000 a year. And she was hungry for something better. And I talked about the big picture. Do you talk about the big picture of where this company's going? Your part is something great. And so I went there, built a national area down there. Kimberly became the first one there. And then I moved to Atlanta, did the same thing, and then moved to Miami, built in Mexico, built all around. Doing the same thing, and the same skill sets are that you can use today, which I think is a lot of fun. I love the one-on-one. You know, there's a million coffee shops now. It's not just Starbucks. They're everywhere. You can use Facebook, high tech. You can use both, but you know, if you're smart, you go to the coffee shops and have your laptop and do your Facebook, but looking and meeting people everywhere you go. So you're double dipping at the same time. But you just want to paint the big picture that we're building a billion-dollar company, you know, in a global e-commerce platform. And you have the people that are looking, you know. So I'm just excited. I think that I can have the potential of making more money now than I did even in my last platform. because you have a better comp plan. You have no breakaways. This is really exciting. And when you wrap your head around this comp plan, you will really get it. You know, it's not who you bring in, it's who your people bring in. Building leaders, because you can get that product out to so many people. And this is lastly, there's a difference between direct sales and networking. Direct sales, people go and buy a product and then they go out and sell it and make a profit. Networking is that you're building a passive residual income, something you do one time, that people buy their own product for themselves. And along the way, they might have a few customers, but then you get everybody on Smart Chip and they order every single month. They redirect their spending from Walgreens, CVS, etc., into their own tree. And everybody stays there and everybody's ordering. You don't have to be calling, you don't have to be selling. They're just redirecting. And that becomes huge. And imagine it, you can make $21,000 a week. That's over $1 million a year, just in the binary. But remember the board of directors that are in the tree that don't leave, that are building? You get those 30%, 15, 10, and 5, 5, 5, 5 matching checks that become huge. So your big money is building leaders in the perfect situation when people are looking for an opportunity. So that's all, Samson. I get carried away. I'm so excited.
Well, you know, all those stories are very valuable because, you know, for people who have not been to the top, they don't know what to expect. They don't know what the next step is. It's like when you say that you went to Houston when the economy was bad because of oil bust. 100,000 people left Houston. How bad can the economy be? And there are people here on the Zoom, wherever they are, the city that they're in, the country that they're in, it might be that the economy is not very good at all.
Right.
And they are struggling. But here's the thing. Let me tell you something. In any economy, good or bad, somebody is always making money.
Yes.
Somebody's always is. It's just a question of what and how they're doing. And if it's, you know, making money, well, if we think about it, if we translate money into the value that you give to other people, because that's what business is, right? The more the product or service that you have, the more people that the product or service serve, the more money you make. And that's what business is. It's just very straightforward. If you don't have any value, why would people buy? So always think about creating value. And you know, no matter how much I've done in the past, and same thing with Christine and many of the top leaders, it doesn't really matter because what is important is now. What can we contribute to each of your business? And we're not sitting around, sitting on our own history and think that it's going to be the same way again. No, we're always learning. We are students. And look, I would believe that if you've been to the top of whatever industry, you're always learning. You are those people who are always learning, and that's why you're at the top. So, however it is, let me share with you something. You know, for me, I'm always every single day educating myself on something. I'm on YouTube a lot. I'm on Instagram a lot. I'm looking for things. I'm looking for what's happening out there. I'm listening to what people are saying. I'm in touch with what's going on, and not only in the US, but around the world. And what is the psychology of all that? Because what we do to communicate the value, we need to understand how people receive the information. And a lot of times, you know, like when most people, when they first get into the industry, they're like, oh, you know, I have this, I have this, I have this. You must listen to me. Well, they forgot about the other person. You know, they forgot. Why would they want to listen to you? Right? So over and over and over again. And I would actually, this is what I would say to you. Couple of people I follow, and I think for me, it's very clear, and they're on the edge, and they're very effective. It's been proven. One guy, if you go on YouTube, follow Story Brand. Okay, Mr. Miller, he's really good at the messaging, gives amazing tips. Amazing tips. If you want to know about messaging, if you want to overcome objection, if you know, want to know how to put a tagline together, if you want to learn an elevator pitch, you want story brand. Very, very, I mean, I thought I knew how to tell a story. Okay, here we'll break it down in pieces for you and more. And it's even enough from the YouTube. So you can put your own thing together. Another guy that I listen to that's on the very edge of marketing nowadays, online, offline, is Gary Vaynerchuk or Gary VEE on YouTube. Okay. Now, I don't necessarily prefer his language. Okay. But it's a little bit of a matter of fact, but it's okay. But the information is good because, like for us, the old thinking of customer relation, right? Customer relation management, CRM, right? Customer relation management, right? Well, it's more now of just simply customer experience. It's how we treat other people. That's what it is. So it goes back to what Christine's saying. Sometimes you have to be face to face in front of people. And actually, most of the time you should, because that's when you're the most effective. That's when you can feel the other person, right? Now, according to neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, which is a type of how you use language and all the words, right? Well, 7% of the words, 7% of communication are the words. That is very shocking, right? It's only 7%. 38% is context or tonality. Context, like how you use AI, you have to put it into context, right? So 38% is the context. Guess what the 55% is? Is body language.
Mm-hmm.
And body language includes your facial expressions.
Yeah.
There are things, let me tell you, from neuroscience that are hardwired in you and in other people, that no matter what, it's almost impossible to hide it as you interact with people, and we're hardwired to recognize it face to face. So that is actually the most effective.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to get through to the other people, and I think 2026 is great because, me and Kim we're talking to one of our business partners today, and it's like he's the one who brought it up. New Year is like a little reset, Okay, whatever happened in 2025, whatever negative things, just take it with a grain of salt and learn from it. All that happened to you, it's okay. It never happened to you. You can never teach it. You can never tell people how you overcame it, right? Right, Dale? No matter what happened, no matter what it is, okay? Whatever's holding you back, take it, right? Take it with a grain of salt and ask yourself, what's holding me back? If you ask that kind of question to yourself, you will know what to teach to other people later to help them get unstuck. Nobody wants to follow a parked car. Christine, so good, right? So, and now, I know many of you, you want it. That's why you're still here.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what the result. But no matter what the result is, it's all meant to be. Our friend today, he likes to ride bicycles. So in Los Angeles, where the weather station is, it's Los Angeles surrounded by mountains, right? There's a mountain called Mount Wilson. So that's where the weather station is. That's where all the antennas are at the very high peak. So he has ridden his bike up the hill 3.5 hours from the bottom to the top.
Wow.
And as he was riding up, it's mountainous. It's all curvy road, right? As you go up, you're riding 6 miles an hour or less. It's more like walking, right? So it's a struggle. And you don't know what's around the next curve. You don't know what's coming. You don't know how easy it is. Is it going to be steeper? Is it going to be flat? Is it going downhill? You don't know what it is, but you know you're going up. And finally, when he gets to the top, and as he looked back, he can see the road that he came up on and how difficult it was. And from the top, everything is so clear.
Mm.
Whatever you're going through, it's okay. But you're lucky because we have this community of people to guide you, actually guide all of us. We all need guidance no matter what, right? It's like, it's like motivation. Who is it? Who is it that said it? Oh, I think it was, who is it? Jim Rohn? Motivation is good, but you need to take it like, but you need to treat it like a shower. You need it every day. So, Plugging into the community is very important. So I'm glad all of you are here. But as you ride your bicycle to the very top, no matter how hard it was, it's worth it as you look back and you have some clarity of what happened. Just where you are now, you don't know what's coming around the next bend. Yeah, this person will say no. Yeah, this person's not interested. Yeah, this person joined but did nothing. It's all part of it. And like Christine said, actually, you don't need a lot. You just need the right people. Okay. And I have witnessed with my own eyes people who stick with it for years. And finally, they found one right person and their business exploded.
Exactly.
Those people are such inspiration to me. It's not how fast you get there, it's the journey. It's not how much money you make. Nobody cares, but they care about your journey. That's really what they care about. So, today I promise, we're going to interact a little bit. So if you want to interact, let's talk. Put on your camera so we know you're not camera shy and we can talk with you. And also, if you're in a quiet area, unmute your mic, okay? So feel free. Now, and I see Nilbert. He's somewhere on his phone. He's hiding with his hat, right? Oh my God, I think he's cooking. Are you cooking?
Yeah.
Okay, Nilbert, unmute the phone. Okay, I don't want you to burn anything. Okay.
Yes.
Wow, okay. You're home, right?
Yes, I'm home.
Okay, tell us. Let me ask you why you're cooking. What do you see for yourself in 2026?
Well, so I've been doing this for a little bit over 2 years now, and I've learned so much from, just being with, listening to different mentors and coaches. But I continue to learn, like what Christine mentioned, like what you learn, like what you mentioned. It's always a continuous learning process. So what I see for 2026 is let's see. Let me preface it by in the last few months of 2025, I've started finally seeing the right people in my organization, in my team. And these same people are actually going to be with me in the Dallas in the leadership conference. So what I see for 2026 is definitely an explosion that's coming. My team is going to be reaching new heights, and it's going to be very, very exciting, like Christine mentioned. So I'm so inspired and motivated to. I can't wait to. Well, we're actually doing it already, but I can't wait for 2026 to really unfold.
Very good. Very, very inspirational, aspirational. And I think a lot of time, I think, Nilbert, would you agree with me? A lot of time, now that you find some right people, right? When you look back, isn't it just like a matter of perspective, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. It's actually all about perspective. And if there's one biggest, I think the most crucial lesson that I personally learned that I'm happy to share with everyone, it's really the consistency. It doesn't, you keep sharing the opportunity because you just never know who that next person's going to be. Right. Again, like Christine mentioned, not everyone's going to do it. Not everyone's going to be in it. Like I've had several members already leave, already like die out or whatever. But there will be the right people will join the business. The right people will see the opportunity, and the right people will run with you.
Right.
Beautiful. And Nilbert is Mr. Consistency, okay? Like retired lieutenant commander. Yes, sir. Amazing, okay? Like they don't train you any better in the military, right? But and that what? That is such an important point. I think like when I look back on my own career, it is the consistency that builds the momentum. It's the consistency that keeps the emotion up. The consistency that keeps people uplifted. And even though if it's down or dipping, know that it's all about perspective. Like I said, in any economy, I saw many times, I'm 56, I've seen a few economic cycles. In every economy, new kind of business model, new kind of entrepreneur, people out there driving, regardless what's happening out there. As a matter of fact, there's another subject that came up today during the talk with me and Kim and our business partner is that, you know, the worst thing is to compare yourself to other people because it eats you up. You know, everybody's journey is a little bit different. But most important is you got to know where's your mountaintop, right? Where's your mountaintop? Where you want to be? You got to stay focused, and that's how you're going to be. And you got to be consistent and persistent. Persistent to the point where when people reject you, you don't want to let them go. Almost like that. You know, you got to come up with more things to say. Look, if any of you need any sales training, trust me, the internet's better than me. It's probably better than most people. There's so many amazing people out there. Okay, how to overcome objection? You type on Instagram, you type on YouTube, they'll come out. Price is a problem. Oh, price is never a problem. It's always about the value. It's always about how you communicate it. You know? So there's so much training out there. It's ridiculous. Okay? Like, but you know what? It doesn't matter the training. It doesn't matter the script. Because if you're not the right person to use it, it will do you still no good. So that's why the number one thing, even I listen to all kinds of people, okay? Even according to people who used to work for the CIA or intelligence thing, and they also do sales training. You know what they say? If you're into neuroscience, you know what they say? The number one thing, it goes back to like what Zig Ziglar say, how you go from last to second in the company in 1 year. It's not what you know. You know, it's who you are, what you have. It's your confidence. And this gentleman I was listening to, oh, he sliced it up so good. I've never heard it this way. Say, confident is not what you are. It's what you do. I say, that's so good. That's so good. You know why? We're all confident. When we sit down, eat a big steak, and we know how to use the knife confidently to eat that delicious steak. Okay, Omaha steak for me. But but we're gonna go out, and we're gonna go out to do something we've never done before. Of course, we're not as confident, right? So you know what? You know what creates confidence? Relentless practice, 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 practice. It's like I tell my daughter playing the cello. I tell my son playing the cello. How you become confident? How can you play good? By practice. So regardless of the result, you go do it and do it and do it and do it and do it, and it will come. So Kimberly, let me ask you, I know Kimberly texts me all the time asking for information. And she's laughing. She's like, oh no, Samson call on me. Hi, Kimberly. Happy holidays. How are you?
Great. Better now. Hi, everybody. Hi, Samson. Merry Christmas. Hi, Christine.
Christine, I'm gonna ask Kimberly. Let me ask you, Kimberly, and is it, of course, you know, none of this is planned, right? It's all like fly on the wheel.
No, it's not planned.
It's great fun. It's great fun. Let me ask you, and if you don't mind telling us, what is the number one thing you're gonna work on in your business in 2026?
Oh, no problem. I will tell you, I am committed to meeting 10 new people every single day, rain or shine, holiday or not. I am on it.
Wow.
We signed up 2 people the day after Christmas. One signed up, the restaurant owner saw what we were doing. She's like, what is all this? I want a part of it. Signed her up right after that and got leads on Christmas at the Drake Hotel. I mean, I am on 10 a day until I find my superstars.
Nice. So good. So good. You know, it's not only a numbers game, but it's beyond that, right? It's the craft of, it's the art of that connection where you find the people with the right vibe as you that you know, can come together to do something beautiful. And so 10 a day will give you better odds than 1 a day.
Right. Right.
Or 1 a week. Oh, I'm not pointing anybody, no finger pointing here, but it's better than 1 a week or 1 a month. I know, look, Antoinette is laughing. Antoinette, okay, unmute yourself, okay? What is the number one thing you're gonna work on? Oh, don't go away. Okay, unmute. So what is the number one thing, Antoinette, that you're going to work on for your business in 2026?
You know, it's the same thing Kimberly's doing. I am obsessed. You guys would not be surprised with K-pop since I went to Asia. And I am going to be golden. I am hunting for the right people. Like, seriously, my word is golden. I am going to be like those K-pop people because they are so amazing and perfect. But I'm hunting. I'm really just hunting and hunting and hunting for people that want to be a part of this company and move it forward. I'm looking for people that want to be a part of a company, that want to do the work, that want to do what it takes to get a new business where it needs to be. So
Nice.
I'm going to be K-pop.
She's a big game hunter. She's a big game hunter like Kimberly.
Nice. Okay, you got to work. It's a lot of work, a lot of work. Great. Looking forward to seeing you in next week, I guess, right? Is it next week?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to call on a couple more people to surprise them. What do you think? Yeah. How about let's ask Dr. Romy. Hi, Dr. Romy. Dr. Romy is always there. And, I see him now so many times, and every time he's serving, even picking up Dr. Dan last time and, taking him out to eat and, make sure he's fed so he has enough energy to talk. So, Dr. Romy, for you in your business, what are you going to work on in 2026?
Well, that's a good question because I actually evaluated my team and I realized that there's a lot of them that are users. Maybe because I'm a doctor, so they follow the doctor's advice. So my goal is to build up or to qualify people and build up my team, choosing those who will not be users but also will be builders. And the way to do that is I committed myself to calling at least 3 people every day for 5 days. So that will be in 5 days. I will have 15 people that I'll be calling. So it'll be 355. And then by using that process, I will be able to qualify which one would be the builders.
Love that. You have grown so much, Dr. Romy, because what you just said, I don't know if you all heard it. He's going to call them and qualify them. See, that's this qualification. You have to do it. You have to qualify. It's not for everybody, right? And don't waste your time, right? Look, they can all be customers, but you got to qualify them if they want to be a business builder too, right? With you, want to work with you. Now, I would say that sometimes, as I travel throughout the world, there's different cultures and people respond to the training differently. Sometimes when I go to Singapore or Japan, they're so rigid. They follow 1 to 10. They cannot skip from 1 to 10 or 1 to 3. They have to go 1, 2, 3, 4. They have to follow exactly, okay? And here's the thing, right? And they do. That's how it is, right? But here's the thing. So it's important, regardless. Customer, you're gonna make money. If you enroll a brand ambassador and they buy product, you make money. Don't need to differentiate one or the other at the beginning until you know what they want, what fits them best, right? Because look, if they come in, they're interested, you try the product. They want to then engage in the business, yeah. Well, you have to do your part to follow up, right? Keep it in the loop, right? Or right away, they become a brand ambassador and boom, you need to get them started ASAP, right? And get them onboarded right away. So don't let the excitement down. I mean, I have made that mistake many times. I enroll them and it took me too long to enroll them and they kind of cool down right away, right? Or they change their mind, right? Or they say, oh, they cancel, right? Never answer my phone again. Happened to me too, trust me, okay? But so sometimes, I want to get a few, no, not only on the surface, but maybe a couple of layers deep before I enroll them as a business partner because I'm going to be investing my time in them as well, right? So, but everybody can be a customer, no problem. Okay. And then so you gotta have to sort it through, right? You gotta like we'll always talk about like a deck of cards, right? 52 cards, and you're trying to find the aces. You need to sort them out. But know that a lot of times the jack would never be an ace. They're good, but they're not an ace. It could be a six, but they'll never be a king. So you never know. I'm just saying, the one of the most important thing I've learned over the years is you got to keep an open mind to possibilities. If you're open to possibility, that's when anything can happen. It's not like you, of course, whatever meeting you have, whatever interaction, you gotta have some intention. But be open-minded about listening to what they're really saying. Right? Not only the words, but their intention behind the words. Right? And you rather listen more carefully than talking and saying, you got to focus more on listening carefully than talking. Then you will get somewhere very fast. Because by meeting their needs, automatically will meet your needs. And if you put the moment that my whole career changed was when I learned, and it did take me a few years. It did take me a few years to get myself out of the way, to get my own desire, to get my own needs out of the way. And really, what's in it for them? When I focus on them, everything changed at that moment. Everything changed. So, and there is a saying, in corporate America, they said there's never a bad employee. It's all where they're placed, right? Well, if we think about people that way, that means anybody could be either customer or brand ambassador, anybody. It's just how you go about it, okay? But it's all a learning process, okay? So I know Dale has his mic on for a while. I'm sure you want to say something, Dale. Look.
Oh, I can't say enough how much I'm like a bobblehead over here, agreeing with everything you're saying. But for me, I already started with going back to basics with my list. And when I really got into my list again, I know so many people. And so I learned just over years of experience to prospect as I go. So I talk to people all the time and I collect names and numbers as just a part of my day. And that makes it fun because you're interacting with people, but then to go deeper and then to actually scout and qualify who I'm talking to, because it doesn't take any work at all to spin your wheels. And I'm an expert on that. I've spun my wheels a lot. And you dig a hole and then you wonder what happened to all the time. So my list is what I've been working on this holiday season. And I'm really excited about 2026 because I do a lot of public speaking and I've got anchors out there for January, for into February and beyond for the balance of the year. That's just, it's just good. It's a good environment that's attractive, hopefully, to bring more interaction with people so I can prospect as I go. And I have an absolutely wonderful team. I can't say enough good things about the team that I'm a part of and the people that have agreed to kind of go on this journey with me and my wife. So that's all. It's all good. Thank you.
Very good sharing. Very, very good. I mean, that's what everybody needs to do, right? So maybe we can end the call like this. I want to maybe give you a little bit of something that I've learned, over the last year. And, after you hear it, you still have to integrate it, right? Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's like a new suit. After you get it new and tailored, you still need to break it in somehow, right? So, one of the things, and over the years, when I look back that I heard this year and that I reflected in my career is that all of us, number one, have different beliefs. For example, about money. Some people are savers, some people are spenders, some people don't care. And a lot of time, and maybe on a scale from 1 to 10, how we treat money, how serious we are about that. Everybody's different. And that's a basic belief that's been ingrained in us since we're young. We learned it from the people who are around us. Okay? Especially our parents. Okay? When you go out there, talk to people, know that to change somebody's belief about what they see, what they hear, is very hard. It's very hard. But how you can do that is to shift the frame, picture, using story. It's like watching a movie. Why do people love movie? Because they go in there, they watch a movie, they're in a different world. The movie itself is a frame, like a picture frame, and there's a story going on. It's easier to shift somebody's perspective through stories than changing their beliefs. I thought that's very articulate. When I heard that, that's so good. Because what happens when we watch a movie? I don't know if all of you ever thought about it. What happens to you when you watch a movie? You know what happened? You subconsciously or consciously see yourself in the movie. Think about that, right? How many of you who saw The Matrix imagine yourself to be Morpheus? Imagine yourself to be Neo? I don't know. Is there a more popular movie that people know? Okay. But when you watch a movie, you put yourself in the movie. So you're like in a different world. Does that make sense? So somehow what the story does, when you reframe and it goes into debating or arguing, whatever, you want to influence and persuade, it's about shifting their identity. If they see themselves doing it, they're in. If they see themselves as a customer, they'll buy. Does it make sense? So you shift you shift their perspective and their identity through storytelling. So you don't have to change their belief. That takes a long time. But you can shift by telling the right story to the right person. Does that make sense? So look, if they say, oh, is it one of those, this and that, and then what you need to do is reframe the whole picture, because they're giving you a picture. No, you're going to go in and reframe the whole picture. And there is something about this frame, what's in it, right? What's in a story? Well, there's expectation, there's some emotion, right? And maybe there's some wisdom, knowledge, right? And maybe also that you're sharing with them a story. You're not going against them with it, right? You're sharing something that they can relate to, but you got to shift it so that they see themselves in it. That is actually one of the keys. And that's what we do all the time. When for example, the standard way to overcome objection is feel, felt, found. I know how you feel. I felt the same way. This is what I found. So you're shifting, you're transitioning from their objection into your story. You see, that's shifting. So when you can reframe the conversation, you're ahead of them. You're leading them. Okay. So I just want to share that a little bit with you. Just a different way to think. Don't worry about their belief, because you can't shift their belief. I cannot, convert anybody. Okay? But it's just that story can give a different message. It can give them a different identity. It can show them a different perspective, a different world. Okay. So Christine, do you want to say anything else to wrap it up?
Well, I thought those were all really good ideas, and I loved everybody's comments. I know that Elizabeth, before I just close out, I know Elizabeth was at the edge of her seat. I could see her just like, I want to talk. I want to talk. I want to talk. I know she is going through a transition, moving from one platform to the other, a single mother. What are your goals? What are you planning to do this year, Elizabeth?
Wow. This year, first a short term, so it's 6 months. And I just learned that, we can all eat an elephant one bite at a time. So we got to break down those goals. So it's a 6 months and then break it down to 3 months. And then it's a 90-day goal and then monthly and then weekly goals. So I know I can work in that increment, then have a weekly goal, like Kim said, hey, Kim, and just go with, I'm going to be honest. I asked myself, what do you need? Well, when we start, and we're going back to basics. So when you start, you make money from the PIBs. So if you're needing the money, I decided, well, how do you make $1,000? So then I did the formula and all the different, what you get from the PIBs. And of course, Samson with ChatGPT, it will give you everything. So then I took that and said, so if you average that, your average person comes to another 700, and then you would need 8 people. And that defines the work you do and say, okay, if I need 8 people, how many people do I need to talk in a day? How many people do I need to contact? Then I broke it down to where are my contacts? I'm warm chattering because I'm doing different things. We're starting events in Kansas. We just launched the first. We have another one next month. Then we're meeting people on Facebook. Then, of course, I have all these people from other platforms. So I had to look at where are my people coming from. So in a nutshell, that's kind of how I've broken it down. And then I now can say, okay, daily, these are your daily activities. And then all adding up to lead up to my 6 months. So
that is great. That is great. See, she's broken it down because it can seem so overwhelming, kind
yes.
of. And then here's the secret, everyone, is once you get your rhythm going and you bring in those people that are on the same page as you to start running, now you duplicate. You teach them how to do the same thing. It isn't just about you. Acorns cannot grow under an oak tree. You allow your leaders to flourish and begin to go out. For example, when I did do the warm chattering and I started recruiting, then I took my people out and taught them how to do it. I was in the streets with them. I was in the coffee shops with them. I was there teaching them how to do it, not just telling them what to do. I said, come on, let's go. And so now they got more confident because they're not always like that in the beginning. But I think you did a terrific job, Samson. And we have such a great group here, over 100 people tonight. And just can't wait to see everybody there at leadership and have the next year on this call, we could have 200 or 500 people because just by everybody exploding this year, it can make such a huge difference in the company, and it can be a quantum leap. It's just like I said, I had 40 last year. Now we've got over 100 plus, and it happens. And so, but it takes work. But why would you work so hard for somebody else and build their dreams instead of your own?
So good. So good. Elizabeth, thank you for bringing that, your goal setting. Now we know it's not only the Chinese people that know how to calculate the pyramid.
Yes. They're so good.
People think that it just cracks me up, right? No, it's just business, right? It's just knowing the numbers, right? Very good. And some people are like that. I'm one of those. I focus instead of focus. I set my big goals, but at the same time, I focus on my daily activities, right? I focus on, okay, how many, who can I talk to today? What did I do today to make my business move forward? What can I do tomorrow? Every day. And all of you will get there. Just imagine if your business was like that, is like that cash register at the supermarket. It goes ka-ching, 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 ka-ching. That's where you want to be. If it's not ka-chinging every day, you need to make that cash register go ka-ching. Okay? So, for 2026, I want to say that it's an exciting new year. It's a reset for everybody. Learn from the past. Set your goals for the future, like what you want out of it. I mean, and sometimes it's more than just money. What can money do for you? What can this energy called money do for you and your family? And what can you do for other people on a daily basis? By helping other people win, you win automatically. That is the beauty of our compensation plan. That is the beauty of our community. And, I am looking forward to hearing all of your stories of what the battles that you went through, how you overcame objections that I have never heard, how you overcame maybe certain emotions that you had at certain period in your business that you fought through and overcame. That is why we're here. That is a community we're building regardless. 3 is the vehicle. We're going to rise. We're going to use this like practicing our kung fu, and we're going to master all this. And together, we're going to build something big. Okay, so God bless all of you. It's really good to see all of you. Thank you, thank you. And thank you, Christine, for our freewheeling today.
Yes, just storytelling.
Really
Just storytelling. That's what it is.
You go.
Yeah.
So look, if you're not going to Dallas Fort Worth, try to get there. Many years I remember my first company. Kim just joined that company. She had 20 people go to convention, and I didn't go because I didn't have the money back then. And then the next event, she had 300. The year after, she had 300. So you never know.
Right.
That's how it works. Okay. In Asia, we have some events. The Asia APAC convention in March. And then there's events with it. So Alina and whoever else are, I see maybe a few friends from Indonesia they're on, they're going to be there. So it'll be great. And actually, Kim is going to Asia next week.
Yeah,
So,
Taipei.
yeah.
I think she's on the 10th. She'll be in Taipei.
Yeah, Taipei, Malaysia. So it'll be good. Yeah, so, but things are happening. People working. 2026 is a new year. It's a great reset for mindset. Learn from the past. Move forward with your wisdom, and then keep learning. We'll see everybody in Dallas Fort Worth. If not,
Perfect.
Asia.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Samson. Great
Happy
job.
New Year.
Thank you.
Thank you.